Good morning. Good morning. I am Tiffany Nilms, the Alpha Empath, and I am your relationship coach. So this morning, I awakened to a text message from one of my students, and when I read her message, she just brought tears of joy to my eyes because she had been in a very tumultuous relationship, and she didn't really have the self-confidence that she needed to get out of the relationship. So she started attending my Reconnecting to the Divine Feminine course, and I saw her progressing. She showed up faithfully every Thursday at 7 p.m. and I pushed her, I prodded her, I poked her, I got on her damn last nerve, but she did not give up. And this morning she sent me a picture of her new lease. She had left with all 4 of her babies, and she bounced and left that relationship, that marriage, because she knew that she deserved more. Now, why did this bring tears of joy to my eyes? Because I remember when I was in that situation. You see, I don't coach about nothing that I haven't gone through and triumphed from. I don't. I don't do that. That ain't how I coach, right? And my marriage, leaving my ex-husband, was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done. It was one of the hardest things that I've ever done because I realized like leaving him was so damn hard because we had built this life together. We had this family together. Our children grew up together because we had a blended household. We had a child together. We had bills together, and everybody that saw us, when they looked at us, they would say, "Oh my God, you guys make such an amazing couple. You guys look so good together." And I mean, he was tall, he was dark, he was handsome, he made decent money, he was well spoken, well educated, well versed, and my ego loved him. My ego loved him, and I am not kidding you guys. My ego was so in love with him because he represented everything that the world told me that a woman of my quality should have. However, something was off. Something was off because although my ego was pleased with him and my ego was in love with him, my spirit was dying. So we had this image on the outside, us taking pictures with him, kissing my belly, and him just loving me so much. Let me tell you something. When I took my maternity photos with my ex-husband, that day, that morning, in fact, I had just checked his phone. I had just checked his phone and saw that he was texting another woman that he had been in a relationship with, telling her how much he loved her and how much he missed her and how much he couldn't wait to see her again. And my spirit was dying. My spirit was dying. But that did not stop me. It didn't stop my ego from allowing you guys to see an illusion. It didn't stop my ego from doing that. You see, when you love a person from your spirit grows. When you are loving a person from your ego, your image is growing, but your soul and your spirit are shrinking. They're shrinking. They are shrinking and they are dying. And let me tell you how you know that they're dying. You see, the ego is all about mind. It is all about mind. It is the outward consciousness. It is the outward mask that we show to this world. That's what it is. It is a lot of times something that we created to protect our spirit because our spirit was not strong enough to endure what this world has thrown at us. We were going through too much trauma, so we developed this ego or this mask to protect ourselves or to insulate our spirits until our spirits became strong enough. So when it's time for the ego to get out of that position of queen or king in your life, and it's time for your spirit to come into the forefront, you will start attracting relationships that will start hurting you deeply. You see, the mind can forget what has been done. It can forget words. It can forget scenarios, but the heart never forgets how it feels. People will be like, well, what did he say? I don't know, but I remember how I fucking felt. And the reason why you have to remember how you felt is because your spirit is trying to tell you this is right for us or this is wrong for us. And when we have these relationships that are based in ego love, when they're based in ego love, the spirit is dying, but the flesh is puffed up. We have this, we have the image. Look at our Facebook posts. We're so in love. We have this perfect family. Now, what bothered me so much while I was in this relationship and my spirit was dying, I had everybody that was around me telling me how great my relationship was. And I was like, well, something's off. Something's off. I know that I am dying on the inside, and why can't anybody else see it? Well, maybe something's wrong with me. And so I stayed in that relationship for 11 years longer than I should have. Because I'm going to be real with you. In the first year, I knew I shouldn't have been in it. In the first year, I knew I shouldn't have been in it. But we were in the same house. We had the same name. You see, image builds something. It builds a lifestyle, and it will build something that you absolutely hate. I've done that in my career. Built a career, made money in it. Everybody told me I was so great, and I absolutely hated it because it wasn't my spirit that had built it. It was my ego. And it was time, finally, my spirit was saying, Tiffany, it is time for the ego to get in the back seat, and it is time for me to drive this vehicle. We are ready. We are ready. And I didn't know how to put my ego in the driver. I didn't know how to put my spirit in the driver's seat because my ego was so used to being in the driver's seat. So I had to reinvent. I had to die to my ego and create another one. That's what I had to do. I had to die to myself and be reborn, because I am not one of those people that says that you don't need ego. No. I know that I need my spirit. I know that I need my soul, and I know that I need my ego. But my ego needs to be birthed out of my spirit and out of my soul instead of the opposite way around. Most of us, when we think about our ego is something that has been created by the outside world, and it has no connection to our spirit and our soul, and it becomes a prison for us. It becomes a prison for us, and we have to destroy that prison. Create the image that is in alignment with your spirit and your soul, and that becomes your reality, or your mask that you present to the world. You have to design it. They cannot design it for you, because if they do, I promise you, you are going to be unhappy. You see, everything that is meant for you is always birthed out of your spirit. It's always birthed out of your spirit if you have enough courage to allow your spirit to lead you. My spirit has great aspirations for me. They are so great. I'm going to be honest with you. Most times they scare me. They scare me. I had a dream when I was 18 years of age. I'll never, ever forget it. You know, it was one of those dreams that it changes you forever. It changes you forever. See, your spirit is linked to infinite wisdom and infinite abundance. And your spirit will show you your divine destiny or your divine path. And my spirit, even though it was weak at that time, showed me that I was supposed to be a healer. I was on a stage. It was a blue stage, and I was wearing a blue suit. And I was speaking to millions of women and families and men. And I saw them crying, and I saw their spirits being healed. And I knew at 18 that that's what I was supposed to do. And I went and called my mentor at the time, which was my father. And he told me, he said, baby, that is a dream from God. You're supposed to do that. And you're supposed to carry out that vision within my ministry. And I submitted myself to his ministry. And while I was in his ministry, he shut my voice, or he took my voice. I allowed him to take my voice and make my voice his own. I became his mouthpiece. Instead of submitting myself to the powerful intelligence that is within me, because the answers that I seek, they're always within us. If we can move our ego out of the way. We have to love ourselves, not from our ego, but from our spirit, because our spirit knows who we truly are. We have to trust our spirits. We have to trust our intuition. And we have to trust that when we are vibrationally aligned to those things that make our spirit soar, those are the things for us. But when you are in a relationship and your soul is dying and your spirit is dying and you are trying to keep it for your children's sake. Yeah, I said that. And you are trying to keep it for your image sake. Listen, you were not brought into this world to cause your spirit to die so you can do what you think is right according to the world. See, the scripture says that the wisdom of men is foolishness to God. And it took me some time to understand that, because that relationship was murdering me. And the wisdom of man was saying, stick it out, stay in it, it's worth it. And I said, my soul is dying. How can this be worth it? How can it be worth it to keep a marriage and to keep a relationship and my soul is being lost? Is it worth me losing my soul? Is it worth me losing my spirit? And I had to attune to the deeper wisdom that was in me. And the deeper wisdom within me said, no, it's not. Let it go. And I did. So when I saw my client send me that text message this morning, my soul leaped for joy because I knew that she had slain her own Goliath as I had slain mine. I coach people like David, women like David, that say, yeah, I may be little in your eyesight, but I know who the hell I am. And I have slain lions, and I have slain bears, and you gonna be just like one of them, and I'm gonna kill your motherfucking ass too. And that's what I do. And that's what I teach people to do. So if you are going through a relationship right now and your soul is dying and your spirit is dying, I need you to know, fuck what the world says. Nothing is worth your spirit and your soul perishing. Who cares if you gain the whole fucking world and you lose your soul? Let it go, people. Anything that no longer serves the growth or the evolution of your soul and spirit, and it's only serving your ego, let it go. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.